Hi YouTube, rattrap25 with another Transformers Prime review. I'm sorry that this is a bit too late. I was meant to do this last week, but I went into hospital with an epileptic seizure and I ended up spending a week in there. So it was pretty bad. So, I had to watch Transformers Prime episode 14 out of my head again, which I did last time, but halfway through making the video you see me collapsing. Yeah, not good. Okay, Transformers Prime out of my head is a continuation from episode 13, Prime Sickness. And in this episode you see a lot of love from Raph and Bumblebee between them two and the friendships that they share. But you can actually see it more towards from Raph and what kind of person he is. That he states that he has a big family, but none of his family can really understand him. But they talk to him, they care for him, but they don't really understand him. But when he talks to Bumblebee, he actually feels like there is someone who's out there who can understand him and loves him and cherishes his friendship and hangs on every word and willing to go the extra mile for him. So, and it's absolutely great episode. There's action in it, there's adventure, there's drama. You can't really get in to suggest what's going on in this episode. But basically, Bumblebee is actually a zombie, as I call sleepwalking through it, because Megatron somehow slipped into Bumblebee out of his own body into Bumblebee's mind. And then he starts taking over Bumblebee as the more dominant individual, and start treating Bumblebee, using Megatron is treating Bumblebee as his new body, so he can get his old body back working. It starts off with a game of basketball between Bulkhead and Bumblebee, Cybertronian style, as Jack's stakes. Then he goes into a blank daze and gets this incredible strength and nearly knocks off Bulk's head with it. And that's basically it. And you see Megatron going in and out. And Ratchet takes starts to observe Bumblebee and puts him under treatment. No, like saying there's nothing wrong with Bumblebee, but there's something wrong with him, but he can't figure out what. So, other than that, Starscream's got his own plans. He has a plan to steal the world's largest telescope lens so he can melt the polar ice caps to get the greatest treasure of energon, but it's in the Antarctic, or in the North Pole. So back at Autobot's base, Bumblebee is forced to be shut down to put into stasis lock, as we would come to know, so he can find out what's wrong with him, because he describes to Ratchet and the others that he's seen Megatron in his dreams while living dreams. A living dream is when you're awake and you sit dreaming at the same time. So when he's asleep, he starts sleepwalking, and Bumblebee's asleep, but Megatron takes control of his body completely. And Megatron reminds himself what made him survive, and it was the Dark Energon. And he knew Starscream had one half, but he also knew there's another bit what Starscream didn't know. In episode, I think it's 4, when Prime and Ratchet are having a big docker fight with Transformers zombies, he had a shard of Dark Energon that rose the dead from the earth. He teleports ground bridges to the site where they battled. He gets a spark, he comes back to the base, and he goes to the bridges himself to the Decepticon space base, or area base, whatever you want to call it. So Raph and Ratchet are trying to stop Bumblebee, but Bumblebee is starting to hit out and attack his friends, but he doesn't hurt Raph for some reason, because even though Megatron is the dominant personality, he's still got Bumblebee's traits in him, so he won't hurt Raph. So he goes and puts Raph over on a side somewhere and knocks out Ratchet for about mere 10 seconds, and bridges to where the Decepticons are with the Dark Energon shard. He connects himself up to Megatron again. Well, Bumblebee's connects himself up to Megatron again with the Dark Energon shard. So Ratchet and Raph bridges to where Bumblebee is and tries to stop him, because they actually figure out this is not Bumblebee. He's no longer Bumblebee. He is Megatron in Bumblebee's body. And you actually see Ratchet actually scared. This Ratchet's not as good as animated Ratchet. Animated Ratchet is the best Ratchet I've ever came across as a Ratchet. But this is a very second place for Ratchet. So they're having this big climactic battle when Starscream and the other Decepticons are taking care of Bulkhead, Prime and RC. With this big mega cannon what he made from what kind of resembles G1 the episode where the Autobots impersonate the Stunticons. I can't pronounce the name. Please tell me the name on the video if you like this video. So he starts shooting at Prime when Prime does runs so far, transforms, does a jump off a cliff onto the Decepticons warship and grabs up, and he does his usual Prime heroic stuff. He will not be Prime if he didn't do some big heroic stunt, and he does pull it off. And at the same time Megatron comes alive. Prime destroys the machine. Starscream jumps in the air, starts having a battle with Prime, and he turns around and says his biggest mistake that Megatron ever did was letting Prime live when Prime fell onto the ground. But then as he flies down to take the killing shot, Megatron comes back, takes Starscream and beats the living shit out of him. Now, Megatron says one of the best lines I've ever heard a Megatron ever said. He turns around and admits that he's done mistakes, but his biggest mistake that he will not let himself do again, and that is let Starscream's treachery and conniving and sliminess get the best of Megatron again, and says the one true heir of the Decepticons is Megatron himself. Now, I got one more thing to say tonight. See these things? I was meant to be doing Transformers Prime episode 15 today, because I wanted to do it today with these shouts out. As you can see, I've got 4 boxes. What are they? It is May the 16th. I've been to Toys R Us and I've got Dark of the Moon, Megatron Voyager class. Looks very... it's devoid of some paint apps. Dark of the Moon crankcase. Dark of the Moon Roadbuster. They had Dark of the Moon Prime Voyager, but I don't want that one. They had Dark of the Moon Bumblebee, but I've seen reviews and no, I'm not getting. Skids and Mudflat I'm considering getting new ones, but there was one thing I definitely wanted to get, and it's not Dark of the Moon, it's Revenge of the Fallen. It's the only Revenge of the Fallen toy I haven't got, and I've been wanting to get, and every time I wanted to get, someone got it before me. Revenge of the Fallen RC. Now I've got every single Revenge of the Fallen character from the Transformers character zone. So this is rattrap25. Have a nice day and good night.